In this video, I'm going to round off the AccuDraw videos with just a few odd items. Go to Settings and AccuDraw, open up the window, and let's have a look at some of the odd things here. Operation is fairly straightforward, and you should have those items selected. The rest of them don't particularly apply to 2D. Click on the Display tab. Here you can set the colors of the compass in terms of the X and Y axes, the highlight colors, the frame colors, and the fill colors. If you're colorblind, you might need to do this. Or you simply like different color schemes, then you can change them here. Change the size of the dialog boxes too. Delayed update determines whether AccuDraw constantly updates the current coordinates of the cursor, or whether it only displays the coordinates when the cursor stops moving. For example, right now we don't have delayed update on, and if I draw a line, if you look in the AccuDraw box, you'll see the dimensions constantly changing. If I put delayed update on, then as I move the cursor around, the AccuDraw window stays unchanged until I stop moving, at which point it gives the coordinates of the point at this time. Moving again locks it until I stop again. Normally this is on, because it does give you some idea of where the cursor is going in relation to the last data point. The display coordinates option, if on, will display the current coordinates from the previous data point at the cursor itself. This is useful sometimes, but for general work it's quite annoying. That is normally off, which is the default anyway. And show negative angles will show negative angles in the angle box. Switch to the compass. Right now, negative angles is off, so we are seeing positive angles wherever we go around the compass. Look in the angle box. But if we show negative angles on, then once we go past the 0 angle, we are seeing negative angles shown in the AccuDraw. Again, your choice, whether you want to see that or not. And pop-up confirmations are the little confirmations of the shortcut keys in AccuDraw. To see this better, I'm going to drag AccuDraw onto the screen. And pop-up confirmation is on right now, so if I press, say, the Enter key, the Enter Smart Lock displays in the AccuDraw window. And any of the shortcut keys, let's hit the N key, for example, N for nearest snap displays. On the Coordinates tab, I want you to look at the indexing options. As you know, with Axis on, when you drag a line, the dynamic line will snap to the axes of the compass, which is extremely useful for most drawing operations, but sometimes you don't want that to happen if you're working with very small details and you can't quite get to something because the line instantly snaps to the axis. Two ways to solve that. You can turn axis off. Now this is a permanent turn off, and the line will not snap to the axis at all. Or if axis is actually on, you can use the shortcut LI. So we need F11 and LI at the keyboard, and we temporarily turn the indexing off. So if I now place a line, next time we go to the axis, let's try this one, it will go back to snapping to the axis. So that's quite useful sometimes. Now, kind of the same thing goes for the distance option here. Now, this is part of the previous dimension line. So again, if I draw a line, there's my previous distance marker. And the 10 here in the tolerance is the distance I must move on the screen to get out of that distance marker. So as I drag slowly out, it will disappear. Now I can change the tolerance. I can make it much larger, for example. Let's make it, say, 25 for something fairly obvious. So there's distance marker. I must now drag quite a way away before that marker disappears. Or, obviously, if we make it very short, say 5, distance marker, almost as soon as I've moved away from it, the line disappears. Trying to move very carefully here. We'll leave it at 10, which is the default. Turning distance off completely stops the previous distance marker completely. Doesn't show up at all. Now normally you want that on because that is a very useful feature.